Congratulations on purchasing your ab dolly. What you'll soon find out is that the ab dolly is the easiest way to tone your abdominals. But before we get started, let's just make sure you have all the parts you need. First, you should have a kneeling pad. You should also have a video, an owner's manual, and you can refer to that with any questions you may have. You'll have 4 wheels and an ab dolly carriage. To assemble the carriage, and I've already placed 3 wheels into the carriage, simply take one wheel and insert it into the socket. You should hear that firm click. Double check it by lifting it up. Once you know it's locked, turn it over and you're ready to go. Here are some important tips before you start using the Ab Dolly Plus. First, always slightly tighten your abdominals like you're pulling your belly button up to your spine. Now remember, do not hold your breath or don't suck your gut in. It's a slight contraction of your abdominals. Now during your workout, always remember to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Another important tip is to never exercise to the point you become so tired your back begins to sway. Here Joel's going to come out and sway. That's going to put more pressure on your lower back. When you go out, always remember, tighten the abdominals, pull the belly button to the spine, and come out, and your back will maintain and be straight or flat. Come on back. Good. Stop using the Ab Dolly Plus immediately if you feel unusual stress or pain. Remember that this device works out muscles that you have not used in a long while. As a result, you'll feel soreness in these muscles until they begin to strengthen and become properly trained. Before I show you some of the beginning exercises, first, wear some athletic clothing that's comfortable. And find a surface that's firm and flat and even, like carpeting or hardwood floors or vinyl. Remember, on carpeting, the ab dolly will move slower. Now, Sherry and I are going to show you the first exercise, and it's really the foundational exercise that's going to tone your abdominals and give you that firm look that you want. First, just put your knees on the pad, and then place your forearms on the padding right provided here, as well as putting your hands on the grip. Then, like all the exercises we'll show today, simply just tighten the abdominals slightly toward the spine. Now, you're still breathing normally. Now, it's so simple. All you're going to do is just push your hips out and come back. Now, start in slow, controlled fashion. Now, you never want to arch your back. Start out in your little small motions and gradually work further and further out through different ranges of motion. You'll feel this in all of your abdominals. Once again, as you get stronger, you can go further out. Now, initially, start this exercise for 30 seconds. And you can do 2 sets of this. Because the ab dolly works all 4 muscle groups through a larger range of motion, you may get sore the first day. Don't be alarmed. Go back the next day, work through the same motions, and you'll feel so much better. Remember, start out in slow motions, easy, back and forth motions. Don't go too far. If you go too far, you'll feel your back start to arch. Then you know you've gone too far. But as you go through this, work your way up to a minute. And once you're able to do 1 minute of this exercise for 2 sets, move on to the intermediate program. But there's one more beginner exercise. It's one of my favorites. It's called the stress reliever. And what you'll do is just move your legs apart, place your hands on the dolly, and just stretch the upper back, arm muscles, lower back, and allow your chest to fall into the ground. Now Sherry's going to move the ab dolly from side to side at her own pace. And if she feels an area that's tight, she'll stop and breathe into it and really enjoy the stretch. This stretch is great for the upper arms, the middle, and lower back. And this is what you're going to do in between your 30-second sets of our beginner exercise. Now, once you finish your 30 seconds on the stretch, we'll go back to the original exercise with your knees on the pad, forearms on the dolly, and you're going to do your last exercise for 30 seconds. Now, remember, you may get sore from this because with the ab dolly, you're training all 4 muscle groups in your abdominal region through larger range of motion than you ever had before. Don't be alarmed. Come back the next day and do the same thing, and you'll feel great. Now, let me show you a few exercises on the intermediate level. Now that you've conquered the beginner exercises, you're now ready for the intermediate program. Now, the first exercise is called forearms on the dolly. Now this is the same exercise as before, except now we're going to go 2 sets of 1 minute with a small rest in between. The same principles apply, moving out and moving in. Remember, if you go too far, you'll arch your lower back. That means the abdominals can't control your motion. So go as far as you can with no pain and making sure your lower back is in a straight position like Sherry's is. Great job. Now after 1 minute, we're going to do the stretch. Now the intermediate stretch is a little variation because we're going to open the hand with just one arm now. It's going to increase the stretch throughout the upper arm, middle back, and lower back. So go with the left arm and then to the right arm. We'll do this for 30 seconds. That way we're not wasting time in between sets. We're still getting a rest in our abdominals, but we're also getting a great stretch for our posture. Now our second set, go right back to the first exercise. Forearms on the dolly. Doing the same motion, working the hips, moving the hips all the way out, moving the hips all the way back in. After that minute, we'll go right back to the stretch. Once again, left hand on the dolly, going across. Great. And really feel it. Now, if you feel a spot in there, stay there. Breathe into it. Enjoy the stretch. Now, she'll use her right hand, coming across, feeling that stretch there. Now, the third exercise is going to really work the lower abdominals. And this is called shins on the dolly. And what you'll do is place your knees above the logo. Hands are on the ground. Once again, engage the lower abdominals for the lower back is now protected. And what you're going to do is only move the hips. You can see how our hips are moving here, and there's no motion in the upper body. Great job. Now you go out as far as you can until you don't arch your back. You never want your back to arch. After the first set of 1 minute, do the same stretch. Now for the second set, there's a small variation that's going to really work the obliques. What we'll do is slightly turn the abdomen to the right and do the same motion. But with that twisting action, we have now increased the activity of the oblique muscles. I'll do that for 30 seconds. After 30 seconds, she'll bring it back up again, turn to the left, so we have good balance. We're firing all those abdominal muscles. Now, if these exercises become too easy, add a third set to each exercise. Once you've mastered all these exercises, you are now ready to go to the advanced level. Great job. Congratulations, you've reached the advanced level. The first exercise I want to show you is hands on the handles. Now it's very similar to the first exercise we showed in the beginning and the intermediate program, except now your hands are on the 2 handles on the side of the abdomen. The same things apply. Belly button goes to the spine and the motion occurs at the hips. This is a much more intense exercise, placing more stress and working more on the abdominal region, but also now incorporating the back of the arms, the chest, and upper back muscles. Perform this exercise for 2 sets of 30 seconds. Once again, perform the stretch in between each set. The second exercise is called the hook. And what you'll do is place both shins on top of the abdomen logo, hands are on the floor, and you're going to move the abdomen up and around each hand. Almost like a big fish hook. Bring it up and around. Again, 2 sets of 30 seconds, moving to both directions. This exercise will fire the oblique muscles in those hard-to-get areas. Now the third exercise is called shins on the dolly with one hand higher than the other. Once again, 2 sets of 30 seconds. Now the first set, what you'll do is with your left hand higher, moving through all ranges of motion. By placing one hand higher than the other, you've now increased the stretch of the abdominal muscles. Really gives you a great burn. On the second set of 30 seconds, you'll place the right hand above, going through all planes of motion. Remember, when you begin a new level, start with 2 sets of 30 seconds, then gradually move on to 2 sets of 1 minute for each exercise. If you can do these exercises, you are now working at the same level as the professional athletes I work with. Next, we'll show you some additional exercises that you can incorporate into your program. The reason why we call it the Abdolly Plus is you'll get the best abdominal workout of your life, and you can also target other areas of your body. A great movement to to work your back muscles is the side-to-side exercise. Rebecca will show us this exercise by placing her knees on the pad, then her forearms on the dolly. What she'll do first is engage her lower abdominals toward her spine and move out slightly. Then from there, she moves in a side-to-side motion with the dolly, working not only her abdominals, but also strengthening her back muscles. You can perform this exercise for 20 to 30 seconds at a time, working out for 2 sets to 3 sets. This exercise is great at strengthening your lower back. The fun thing about the dolly is you can be creative, and for the first time you'll see how we use 2 dollies in one exercise. Here we have Joel who's going to show us a great exercise to target the chest, the abs, the arms. Put your knees on the pad, one hand on each dolly, and you can do all the same motions except now you have 2 dollies. Isolating the chest, tricep, upper arms, and back, as well as the abdominal region. Working in any range you choose, from left to right, one hand higher than the other. Totally changing the exercise every time. We're getting all the muscle groups. Remember, always work this motion in a slow, controlled fashion, using your abdominals to control your lower back. The fun thing about the dolly is that you can go through any variation, any direction, and you can pick and choose what area you want to train. So be creative. Work different areas. Find those hard to get problem areas and continue to train them, and you'll find the best results you've ever had. The inchworm is a great exercise to increase the intensity of your workout. Therefore, you don't need to work out as long. If you only have a few minutes or a few seconds to work out, try the inchworm. I guarantee within 30 seconds, you'll feel the burn. If you get really strong, try to work up to a whole minute. Good luck. It's really hard. Tone your abs, improve your posture, tighten your butt and thighs. The dolly can do it all. Remember, start your program slowly. Get comfortable with the dolly and progress at your own pace. The dolly will work muscles you've never worked before. You'll not only feel the results, you'll see them. Good luck.